Today we have a very funny topic, how to fire yourself from sales.
I said this is a bullshit topic.
Let's talk about this bullshit. So why is this bullshit? Can you explain that?
No, use a shotgun approach. You go kiss a lot of frogs. You go, no, I mean, you're going to go because you don't know.
Is that we all start as a hungry hippo.
And there's no chance in hell that your company is going to make it. Ever.
You know what we did in that 1,400 people?
Tell me about it.
Every single month we were giving away a BMW M4 and it went vicious.
They have to be coin operated. What I mean by that is they have to really want to make money.
And these events we try to do for about sales, because we are members in Capital Factory portfolio company, Big Sister AI, one of the sponsors today, and we understand that we cannot find any event about sales, about revenue here. So let's do something and talk about how to work with customers, how to bring the revenue for the company, and find the best experts in sales who can talk about this, sharing the knowledge. And today we have a very funny topic, how to fire yourself from sales. And this may be a topic based on the problem when some founders just anytime try to stop and delegate this from the scratch. So they start the business working with product and try to hire someone. So we can raise money, hire some best sales rep in our region and just delegate sales from scratch and from first customer. But more maybe successful founders, they understand they need to start selling for themselves because it helps with product market fit, to find the first revenue, to understand the real problem and pains. And we, I guess, because I don't know what we plan to talk today, because we have two guests, Yagub and Sam, and we plan to talk about how to start it, to sell, and how to delegate this. And do you need it or not, and how it works better in their expertise and maybe in their stories, which we plan to talk today. And I want to thank you for Capital Factory and Station Austin, and also for our sponsor Connected, which helps to find best talents and fractional, maybe fractional experts around the world. And I want to start from simple question for you guys. Can you shortly, for 60 seconds, explain what you do, what's your role in sales? Sam, maybe you.
Oh, I'll go first. I love it. So for those of you who have not met, my name is Sam Goodner. I started my first company called Catapult Systems right here in Austin in 1993. I was his age right here, that little kid up front. I wish. That company became over the next 20 years, the #1 ranked Microsoft integrator in the world. I sold that business to a public company in 2013, retired for the first time, came back, became an angel investor, decided not to start a company from scratch, but rather find one to buy or invest in that I could then help scale. After looking at 100 deals, by the way, I became a mentor at Capital Factory too. That was about 12 years ago. And I'm still today. I love being a mentor here at Capital Factory. So then I found this small startup company in, of all things, the parking technology space called Flash Parking. So they were looking for, they were raising a round of investment. I took down the round, put myself on the team as president. We then scaled that business over the next 6 years from 3 million to 100 million in revenue, and a unicorn valuation at our last round of funding. I retired from that business 3 years ago when my daughter graduated from high school, decided to retire again to go write that book I've been keeping notes on for 25 years. So I'm technically gainfully retired for the second time, although I do a whole lot of business coaching with companies kind of all over the US, where I help them sort of scale their companies. That's my background.
Hey guys, my name is Yagub Rahimov, aka Mr. Paranoid. And you'll understand it as we talk further and further today why they call me that. We were just chatting with Sam and Val over here about our background. I was born in Azerbaijan and became a global citizen per se went back to Azerbaijan. And 2008, we were joking that it was the best year for me because I made my first $1 million as a 18-year-old kid. Started my study 3 months into my study. I dropped out of college again and started my first official company. Within the next 90 days, we grew the company to approximately in dollars $180,000 revenue, monthly revenue, and we got acquired by a hedge fund called Dutch Traders in a city called Groningen. I was headhunted afterwards by a company called IronFX in Cyprus as the CBDO. We hired approximately 1,400 salespeople underneath me, and we became the world's second largest brokerage, doing $178 billion monthly turnover in 16 months period. In 2020, I came to speak at South by Southwest here. That event, if you are from here, you know that it didn't happen. I got stuck here because of that. And we started Polygraph, where today, in our field, we are the world's most accurate solution. We help enterprises adopt AI without the challenges and security issues of AI. And in what we do overall, my daily life, I have not fired myself from sales. And that was me when they actually said that, let's do this thing. I said, this is a bullshit topic.
Oh, it was my second question for you. Yeah.
So yeah, that was actually my very first question from Val. And I think we're going to have fun today with Sam.
Oh, we're going to have some fun.
Yeah, we just say that this is the topic, and Yagub say that it's bullshit. I say, okay, you're like our speaker, and let's talk about this bullshit. So why this bullshit? Can you explain that?
So I'll tell you this, like every big organization, everyone has their kind of like people that you're looking up to, right? Everyone that I have ever looked up in my professional career, they never ever let their hand off the sales process. And every single one of my contacts, whomever left their hand off their sales process, ended up losing their company. Because your company is not a static thing. It's a dynamic thing. It's like your child. Your child is going to be growing. You don't say that I gave a birth or I became a dad and that's it, I'm done. You start still working on that person. And because of that, I believe that you cannot fire yourself off sale. Can you get a person to work with you hand in hand so that you don't get involved with day-to-day operation? Yes, we can do that. But can I take my eye off it as the CEO of the company? Absolutely not. And because of that, I think it's bullshit.
So if your criteria is you can't take your hand off the sales process, we're going to agree quickly on that one. My point was you can and should hire yourself as being the main salesperson from your company. But I'll get to that in a second. Let me do a demographic quick check-in here. Raise your hand if you're a founder or want to be founder. Okay. Now, keep your hand raised if you consider yourself to be the main salesperson of your company. Okay. Raise your hand if you're the founder but not the main salesperson of your company. Who's brave enough? Okay, a couple. So if I sit down with someone at Capital Factory as a mentor, and they're a fantastic engineer, they've invented the latest best mousetrap on the planet. And my next question, of course, to them is, who's going to sell this mousetrap? And if it's not them, I'm going to ask, which one of your partners then is the lead salesperson on your team? And unless they have a really good answer for that, I'm going to tell them, and there's no chance in hell that your company is going to make it, ever. So someone on the founding team is going to have to wake up every morning and not think about how to build the better mousetrap, but think about how to sell that mousetrap, whatever you want to call it. By the way, my background is in B2B. So, if it's a B2C product, replace sales with marketing. But again, my reference is mainly B2B. So number one is someone on the founding team is the first salesperson of your company. And that's the way it has to be. And when you were starting off as a startup, you're still figuring out product market fit. You don't really know. You're building something and you're talking to a lot of clients. You're trying to get some of them to pay you for it. And you're going to get a lot of no's. You're going to get way more no's than you get yes, right? And you're going to learn over time, okay, who's my best customer? And how do I get in front of that customer? Not just what type of company, not just what industry, not just what size, not just what geographical location, but who specifically in that company is likely to buy my solution, right? What do they look like? What is their role? What is their title? How do I get in front of them? Is it, can I send them an email? Can I find them on social media? Can I go to a trade show? Do I have to wait for them in the hallway of their business for them to come out and then accost them? Like, how do I get in front of them? And you're learning all of this while you're growing your business. Now, at some point, hopefully, your company has grown to a size where it's outgrown your ability as the founder to do all of the sales. And that's what you want. And then the first mistake that I see happen is oftentimes the founder or the founder who's in charge of sales thinks to him or herself, well, if I just go hire a really experienced salesperson or sales team, because now maybe I've raised some money and I can go hire that sales team, and I'm just going to throw them at the problem. And that never works. That never works because if your assumption is if I just hire a better salesperson than me, they're going to know how to sell my solution. And they don't. You've figured it out now for the last several years, who your customer is, what their buying patterns are. You've run into all of their objections. You've learned how to overcome their objections. You've learned how to put a proposal together in front of them, et cetera. And so step one is you have to codify your sales process. You have to write it down so that you can train someone else on it. I call this building a sales playbook. And unless you have a sales playbook that's fully fleshed out with who's my customer, how do I get in front of them, what are going to be the objections, what does proposal look like, what does pricing look like, all of the things, then you're not ready to go hire your first salesperson or sales team. And then, now, why do I say at some point you don't want to be the lead salesperson in your business? By the way, I agree with you. You always want to have your hand on the sales engine. But if you ever aspire to sell your company someday and have an exit, and if you're the lead salesperson in your business that has all of the key strategic relationships, and your clients buy from you because of you, like they buy because it's Val, and they know Val, and you've built this nice little business, it's $20 million in revenue, and you want to sell it someday, but all the customers know that it's you. That's really hard to sell that business, at least not with giving yourself a huge earnout and be tied, contractually to that business. Because if I'm buying your business and I realize that all the key partnerships and relationships and client relationships are tied to you, then A, you're going to get a discount because you haven't scaled it beyond just you being the superhero salesperson of your business. And two, I'm going to lock you down with an earnout at least for the next 3 to 5 years because you're too, I can't afford to lose you. So that's sort of my main point is if you want to scale your business to the size where you want to be able to sell it, then at some point you have to remove yourself from being the lead salesperson from your business and create a sales organization and a sales process that can run without you while still having your hand on the engine. Val.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, that was a real long-winded answer.
That's fine. Just like the option when you can talk and make some small session here. Just like if I say it in this moment that the founder can keep their responsibility for sales for the whole process, for the whole time, but just change the roles. Just start like full sales rep on the start, then just delegate, lead generation, then maybe some demos, then something else, like you mentioned playbook, but about playbook I have another question. So can I say that I must have responsibility for sales whole time, but just change the roles? It's correct?
Yagub, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, it's for you first.
So let's actually address some of the elephant in the room here, right? Everything Sam said is correct. I don't believe that anyone will go ahead and argue with you. If you are the company and your company is you, then you don't have a company. It's just you. You have to structure your organization that, like, I have a very simple methodology for myself. Yeah. Can I take 1 week of vacation? Like, that's a simple, easy way of doing it. If you can take 1 week of vacation and get disconnected, that means your company is not you and you are not your company. You have built an organization. Right, we are talking about startups. Startups turn into organizations. So our job is to take whatever we are building into an organization that has interdependence, not independence, interdependence. Things move each other, like people move each other. Get the product move the sales move marketing move your DevOps, etc., or whatever you are engaging in. Now, going back to evolving is a human nature, right? I've done 2 exits personally. One thing that I've noticed myself, that I am very disorganized. Like, you don't want to rely on me on a timeline. It does not work for me. I'm either going to be way too pushy, or if it's not on my personal priority, it's never going to happen. So when I was starting my 3rd company, Polygraph, there was only one trait that I was looking for in my co-founder. He needs to be, or she needs to be, extremely organized, because I know how I'm going to fail. So the same thing goes for you. Like, you need to understand your own superpower, and everybody has some sort of a superpower. My way of thinking is that I'm a very lazy guy. Superpower. That's my superpower. I'm not joking, because I will look into a technical, very complex technical problem and find a dumb gum way of doing it that no one really thought that it would be possible. And another thing I'm very good at it is I can organize people. When there is zero desire of going after something, if I'm wired on it, I'll go put it together. 3rd thing that I'm really good at is I can see the message sticking or not. Like, I cannot explain how I do it, but it's just me. And the 4th, I would say the most important superpower of mine is I know how to disconnect myself from responsibilities. And disconnecting myself from responsibilities is that my job as the CEO of the company is to find, for every task that I'm doing, a person that is 10 times better than I am for that specific task, so that I can give the responsibility to him, but never take my hand off.
So you're really firing yourself from that position while still keeping your hand on it. Okay.
Exactly.
So Yagub, do you consider yourself the main salesperson right now at Polygraph, or were you when you guys got started?
I was the person that I was the CTO, I was the CEO, I was the chief, fundraising guy, and everything else. We were just 2 people, so right. I have to do everything, right? I built the first model myself out of nothing. But am I the person today reaching out to everybody and making it happen? No, I'm not.
So you've built a sales team at this point?
No, we have only 2 people in the sales operation. I will join every single about to be closed calls, even if I'm not talking. Like, most of the time, I will not talk because of one very important trait, Sam. In those calls, I catch a signal about the product scalability.
Yeah.
I'm not telling that I need to be there and like micromanage my sales guys and so on. That's one. And every single day at 9 a.m. for 15 minutes, I'm actually having a sales stand-up call. I'm personally joining on it. Even the contractors that we would have or other partners, I'll have them all in there to report, because that gives me the ability to forecast. If I cannot forecast on what's going to happen, I'm a venture-backed company, and I'm no longer $1 million company or 5 million. We are a very, very valuable organization today.
You start like a sales rep first, then you play right now like CRO, head of sales role. Yeah.
We don't have a head of anything in the company. We are very hierarchically.
Okay, I understand that we have like some terminology problem here, but like
Call it leader.
in general, like you, right? Oh yeah, okay. Again, it can be terminology; it's their own name, but you try to manage your 2 sales reps right now, like sales people in your team, and so it's like change the roles, but you keep attention to sales and have this responsibility. So it's again, you when we talk about like fire, it's provocation, of course, because you cannot say that, oh, okay, I don't care about sales. Here is my money. I just hire the best sales rep or the best head of sales. But it's just like you change your role, you control sales because they give you option to control traction, forecasting, etc. That's correct. Because I have another question and.
So look, I'm a contrarian guy. I was born, I guess, on my wrong side or something like that. I don't agree with anyone, and disagreement is in my blood in a way. So from that perspective, and I also have learned not to be able to trust. Trust is something earned. It doesn't come to be given. Like I'll hire the world's best one. Does that mean that I can trust that person? I've spent my time on like years of building something. $100 million revenue company. It didn't happen overnight. You spend time, you create something. Like I'm going to go back to the word that I said. Can you take 1 week off and still have the same growth?
I think it's a month off. If you'll take a month off, then you know you have an
I've never
organization.
taken a month off.
You have
so
to take a
I
month
don't
off.
know what it
Yeah, Gub, you have to take a month off. That's the test.
Maybe I'll grow into that.
Just like the question about like next step, yeah, because you mentioned the playbook. So it's like for you, the reason when you can provide some rules, algorithms, what everyone can do, you can start hiring first guy. But like 2 questions here. First one, you mentioned that like in my case, yeah, then if I build my playbook, what works for me, then I try to hire someone and give him my playbook. Probably we need to change this playbook because it cannot work not for founder, not for me, and maybe it can be different. So it's like the version which you need to improve probably all the time, and that's why just question for you. How did you understand it's enough playbook? You found the product market fit and you are ready for scale or like for growth?
So listen, it's always unfair to compare yourself as the founder to then your first salesperson or 2 or 3, because you have the unfair advantage of being the founder and having the title. So if I'm calling John Smith and I say, hey, I'm Sam Goodner, CEO of ABC company, they're much more likely to return my call than, hey, I'm Sam Goodner, head of sales for ABC company. So that advantage aside, and by the way, no one knows our solution better than the founder, right? Yes. We're just going to know it better. We're going to have to explain it better. Well, you have to normalize for that, obviously, right? So yes, but imagine, I'm going to use, since we're in the U.S. here, imagine you're an NFL football team and you just hired your star quarterback, right? You just drafted your star quarterback. You can't just throw your quarterback in the middle of the offense and just go play the game. Just go, you're the best. I just recruited the best quarterback in the NFL. I just want you to go play the game and just throw the ball. That team is never going to win. So you're going to, so you're going to have put a playbook together for the quarterback and train him on it. So when you, for example, Yagub, you had at some point you said 1,400 salespeople in your company. I guarantee you put in place a training program for them so you could hire them at a certain, and you had a profile that you built. I want a salesperson with this kind of background and this kind of, energy and this sort of, languages that they speak, whatever your criteria was, and you put them through a training program and you gave them a process to follow, and a program that they could go through to learn how to sell your solution, right? Otherwise, you can't scale to that size.
You know what I think some people are really missing? They think that sales is a magic.
Right.
Yeah. It's not magic. It's a science.
It's a process.
It's a process that involves like seeing the likelihoods, probabilities. When you add probabilities and improbabilities together, they make a number. Is that number I'm looking at John Doe here, and John Doe, the scale is going 51% or 49%? If it is more than 51%, it's likely to close, and if it is less than, it's not likely to close. And from there on, you start building your ideal client profile, or ICP that we call it, right? And I think most of the people in foundational level is that we all start as a hungry hippo, right? The big thing that we end up messing around it is that I'm gonna bite everything and eat everything, and I'm gonna build the world. We will own everything and so on. And 3 years later, you wake up that you've burned through all your savings and everything else, and you have nothing. You've not raised money. You don't have scalability, and all your time has been wasted. I've been there myself. If you don't lie to yourself, we all can say that we've been there.
I've been there.
So in that process, you get, when you have been there and you've been burned, you turn around. It's very easy to come and say that, Simon here, Yagub says that, okay, we are exited founder. Like, how many things that we've missed and so on. We've worked our asses off, excuse my language, to get to where we are today. And in that process, we've learned to see those probabilities and improbabilities. And when you're early level, for me, like the thing that over there is that when do you learn to fire yourself? I fired myself from many places. My last company is a very great example of it. I fired myself as anything executional level. And my intern that I hired 5 years before became the CEO of the company. So I fired myself as a CEO even. Why? Because I got to a point, at that point, that things were scaling by themselves. There was nothing that was being required from me. I became a dad, and I took actually long time off. And I came back, the company was in better position than I was when it was with me. So I figured out that it actually got to a point that it is an organization. It's no longer a dependent.
So you have taken a month off. So you lied to me earlier.
I exited myself.
Yeah, that's taking a month off. How many months did you take off?
It was 3 weeks.
Almost a month. All right, next time, 4 weeks. Okay.
Yeah, but you get to that point of seeing those. If I were to tell every one of you guys, I met one of you who is a cybersecurity person here. I can't see with the lights here. Do you all know who is your ICP, or what is your ICP? Do you know who's your
ideal customer profile?
Yeah, who is your ideal client profile or customer profile? Do you know it? Sure. All right. And can you raise your hand if it is more than 5 different personalities? Yeah, you got to work on that. If you would say that it's more than 3, in fact, actually, you don't have an ICP. You haven't figured on it. So before we go on any sales or whatsoever, we have to understand it. And another point
again, you must understand, but if you don't have like the current customers, it's guessing. Because, okay, I pick the one personality and I think that's right ICP, but then I go in the market and sell for another ones.
You don't do like that. Again, Sam, jump in here with me. You don't end up saying that this is my ICP. What is it? You're a magician that, hocus pocus, my ICP,
No, use a shotgun approach. You go kiss a lot of frogs. You go, you're going to go, because you don't know. You don't know. When you get started, you don't know. You can have a great hypothesis, and you should have one. You can make your best guess, best hypothesis. I think my solution is a bright product market fit for this type of company, and at that company, this is the buyer. And then you're going to go get no. And they're going to get no, and you're going to get another no. And then you'll even actually close some deals, but they're not going to be your ideal client. You might actually have some customers that are not at the center of your target market because you're using this, by definition, shotgun approach, because it's what you call the hungry hippo, right? Shotgun approach. You don't know. Only once you start getting traction, you have paying customers across a wide range of potential targets, and then you go through the exercise of, all right, wait a minute. I can't be everything to everyone. I cannot boil the ocean. I will never scale. And you start the exercise of, all right, who are my most profitable customers? Who are the ones who have the shortest sales cycles? Who are the ones that call the support line the least? Who are the ones that will use my solution out of the box without any customization? Or you go through your own list of questions and then you start narrowing in on focusing in on the center of the target. And then the discipline is you say no to everything else. And it's counterintuitive, but the more you focus in, the more you zero in on just that one center of your target and say no to everything else, the faster you're going to scale. You think, no, if I keep it really big, I'm going to go faster. The opposite is true. The more you focus in on, the more you become known as being different for servicing that one market, that solution, that customer, that's when you grow the fastest.
Yeah, but again, ICPs can be like the second topic, maybe for next to end, because it's so complicated topic. And I agree that you need to find this like a science, not just guess. So you need to first have some hypotheses and then go to the market, talk with customers and find some of them and maybe try to focus. Totally agree with here. But let's return to fire yourself, yeah, and we just talk about.
Al is stuck on this word fire. I like it. Okay, we'll keep going to it. What's the question?
Of course, yeah. Because
he's obsessed.
If we talk about for delegation for someone and like for the first hire in sales, and you mentioned it, sometimes it's wrong way because you just pick the best one, maybe too early, and this is the first problem. But what the best role or the best guy and how to understand it? I need to hire these ones right now and start from this role. So what do you recommend here? So first hire in sales.
So again, a lot of trial and error in my background in this. I think I've tried everything. I've tried hiring, entry-level salespeople and training them up. I've tried hiring really experienced salespeople with contacts in the industry and feeding them in. I've tried bringing people from other industries. So, I mean, I've tried, I don't think there's one answer for that. Except I've tried them all, and for different companies, different things have worked. I've been able to successfully build, a sales organization, hiring very young salespeople right out of school almost, and training them. And in other industries, that doesn't work at all. For example, so it really is industry specific. I don't know what your experience is, Yagub.
Yagub, you just mentioned that if you know your strong side, you probably can find someone who can be complementary to you. So this can be the rule how to start thinking about first hire.
So I have a very weird thing, right? If it is something, I'm a weird person. Weird is a very good thing. We just hired a very prominent board director and this person is one of the world's top 100 cybersecurity GTM person. In fact, actually, it's one of the world's top 5 cybersecurity GTM go-to-market person.
Sorry, they have like some rating where you can find all this stuff. Oh, it's like
my way of doing is that
because
I just
it's a part of our business and it's maybe.
So for me, what I do is that I like surveying the market. Whatever I'm doing, I'll just go randomly talk to people. Like before we started even Polygraph, I went and I interviewed 348 companies. I did not write a single line of code until I actually did that. This way we can actually understand what am I doing. Is it maybe everyone get convicted on something, right? So you gotta eliminate that. Back to your question, how do I know it? Yes, there are some online things, but most of those things are bullshit. Again, that's a very good word of mine. So they get to be bought and sold. Like you pay and you can be a front cover of a magazine, whatever magazine almost these days. How deep is your pocket? So my way of I have my own reputable people that I call them my mentors, my friends, my go-to people. And if I'm looking for something specific, I'll just go to them and say that, who are the top 5 people in this specific subject I should be connected to? And if the person is coming like repeatedly on that top 5 list, that's my top 5. I don't care about the rest of the world. Who cares about it? Now, back to the same person that we are talking about it. It took me people pay on average like $20,000 an hour to speak with this person. We'll announce him probably next week or the following week. But I just didn't, like the first thing, it was like I couldn't connect personally. The second thing, I connected, but I felt like he did not connect with me. The third one, I was like, okay, we have to stop talking business. I want to know you. Right? I just want to know you. And we started talking about from God to, I don't know, his family, to my son's chess addiction and stuff like that. Finally, we started noticing that we have commonalities. Now, in your organization, it's the same way. Salesperson that you are hiring, is this going to be someone that is just like excited about, the money that you've raised? Because the second you raise $10 million, like us, we did, you get bombarded with people that I love what you're doing. I was like, where were you last week? Right? You suddenly become a hot shot. Everyone wants to love you and be with you.
But how do you understand it's a true love? Okay.
That's the point that I'm trying to say. You don't end up like every other interview, etc. that it goes. You don't just jump in. Even if you are doing it to the top 5 of the industry, if I'm doing it, I'm going to do the same thing for everyone. And one of my best important thing that I'm doing, even with this person, is I travel with them. I will take them onto an event of some sort that is relevant for me. And I'm looking at a couple of things, whether, this person, I'm still bootstrapped in my mindset. I have money in my bank account, but I haven't grown out. My mind still, I go to grocery and I see $20 meat. I'm like, what the heck is wrong with this stuff? I cannot comprehend it. I have my bank account grew, but my mind has not grown with it. So I look at how they spend as an example. Will they buy the most expensive meal in there? Because you get to build the personality types that's what I'm saying, like probabilities and improbabilities, right? Will this person, for salespeople, I have a very simple test. I know generally a bunch of people in an audience that I'm going for, and I don't remember names in general. Like I can assure you that I will not remember most people's name.
So I wrote mine down for you right here.
Yeah. Yours is easy, like Uncle Sam, it left a big remark on me. But one thing that I go around and I say, like, the previous week we were at the RSA, my very first hire that I have next to me, I'm like, that guy is a COO of that bank. Can you go talk to him and get his contact? He hasn't started even working with us. And I'm looking at it, can he come out of his shell and randomly go talk to someone? That's like a testing out. Or another thing is that I've closed a deal. It's just pending a contract signature. I'm bringing him onto it, and I'm actually informing the client that, hey, I want to test something. Can you please speak with this guy as if the deal is falling apart? I'm going to actually give you X amount of discount or X amount of additional tokens or whatsoever. They understand the reasoning around it. It's just 20 minutes call. I'm looking into, like, will this person get on a defensive mode, or will he be in sales world what you call a proactive person, like find a backdoor into bringing it up. So you have to, there is no one size fits all terminology in sales. You have to build your own leadership style. You have to build your own playbook. You have to build your own thing, but also understand that people are different.
I want to give you one thing that I think all salespeople should have in common. No exception. Never seen a successful person that wasn't this one thing. I call it, they have to be coin operated. What I mean by that is they have to really want to make money. If they're not motivated by money, there is no way that they can deal through the rejection that they have to go through to be a successful salesperson. And by the way, not every human being on the planet is motivated by money. I'm not motivated by money, and I know most engineers are not motivated by money. I want my salespeople to be motivated by money. They should drive a car that's too expensive for them, wear clothes that they can't afford, wear a Rolex. Their car should always be more expensive than my car in the parking lot. If they're driving a piece of shit car, excuse my French, they're probably not the salesperson I want to hire. I need them to have maxed out credit cards, want to go make money at all costs, because they're the ones going to be dialing for dollars, getting 99 no's to get one yes.
You know what we did in that 1,400 hire that we mentioned?
Tell me about it.
Every single month we were giving away a BMW M4.
Yeah, baby.
Convertible. And we were living in this island called Cyprus. It's a tiny place. And it went vicious. Like, people want to own that thing and put a target in there that is near impossible to reach. But every single month it somehow miraculously got reached because they wanted to have it. And within the next 8 months, we became the world's second largest brokerage.
Coin operated.
There you go. And another very important thing is cars actually tell a lot about the person's personality.
They do. I drove a Volvo by now, in case you're wondering.
Yeah, he is too secure. you got to get someone that is crazy. Like, it needs to be a pit bull type of a person. But also, one thing that I've also learned, Sam, here is that a person can be money-oriented. That doesn't mean that he's going to be the great sales guy.
Oh, don't you right about that.
Right. That little kiddo probably would beat a bunch of other sales guys, and he's money-oriented too. He will negotiate with you. What is very important is that the person that is selling should be able to change his colors in different environments, in like a chameleon in a way, right? Money-oriented and be able to make his way around it no matter what. I have a great set contractor right now. I love this guy. He's like extremely motivated, extremely driven, and so on. But the second it comes down to there is a specific subject, anyone talks about it, it's as if he gets disconnected and he cannot even talk properly. So we decided to cut him off and move from sales and move him to account management because he can still do that.
Yeah.
And he will still push it forward. So you have to also understand it. My last point up on this here, and then maybe you take it or we bring other people here with comments. You have to be, hiring people is easy. Firing people, we tend to say that it's easy too, but it's actually very costly, especially if you are a startup. So I don't like to fire people.
Yeah, we understand that you don't fire anyone.
He doesn't fire himself.
So what is important in there is that if you brought someone who failed on as a sales guy, it's easy for me to go say that, yes, I'm going to be firing you and so on. But the time that I've spent on that person is very important. So I try to look back and find another position for that person, whether it's support, whether it's something else, and so on.
Has that ever worked? To move a failed salesperson, other than account manager, which I don't disagree with, have you ever been able to move a failed salesperson to another role in your company that was not account manager?
No.
Okay, thank you. I've never have. Okay.
And for me, I don't hire salespeople in general. I hire them in a very structured way.
Okay.
The structure, by the way, is that if anyone wants to come join Polygraph, we get you as an affiliate. That's the step one.
Are you guys hiring right now? Anybody in the room
if anyone
interested?
is looking for it, I'm hiring. We get
some commission for
we give them a crazy commission.
Valgus commission.
Sure. Yeah.
Crazy commission that we give him.
Crazy commission.
And the second they hit that, and I'm not joking, like up to 50% commission. Like you bring a 200,000, I'll give you 100,000 onboarding bonus. We will still do the sales ourselves and so on. I'm looking for, can you find the ICP that I'm giving it to you? Because that's step one. If you're gonna go hungry hippo and go after everybody, you're gonna waste my time. So that's the step one that we do. The second it happens, we hire them and get going. Generally speaking, one thing that I've learned myself is that anyone that takes more than 6 months to hit that target, no matter how much money you pay him, he still will not hit it.
6 months is the right time frame.
And don't make friends with your salespeople. Like,
Why 6? It's science or magic?
Yeah, it's science. We've
B2B.
calculated it. It's 6 months.
Thank you. Yeah,
We've tried it at 4 and 5, and no, it's 6.
I trust you. Okay.
But it's very different worlds. Like you have to understand the sales cycle in a B2B world.
So, but Yagub, let me resume my question about like how to hire. So, if I understand correct, and we can use your case about WoW and self-serve founder. So, I need to test any different ideas, like you mentioned. So, test like SDR. AE, maybe the more experienced guy, maybe someone like the junior guys. And then I need to raise 10 million and pick the 5 best reps in my industry or in ICP and fire some of them and just talk about non-business. That's correct?
Well, I'm not sure I completely understood your question, but your sales team will evolve over time, and the non-performers, it is the one role in your organization no one can hide in, because the numbers speak for themselves. And so, and you should constantly looking at, at the bottom of, as you build a sales team and you got that bottom 20%, they're taking somebody else's place. And so, you have to. And by the way, you can structure their comp in a way to where it's not financially sustainable for them to even stay at your company if they're in the bottom 20%. So they're going to they're going to self-select out anyway. And if they don't, you should let them go. You should release them to the marketplace to go find better employment somewhere else. So it is the one part of your organization where let's think of it as a baseball team. You've got all the stats are published every month. And if you're not making your stats, you're going to get back down to the minor leagues and you're going to go replace them with different players. So that's the sales organization.
Yeah, I like it and agree, and I like the idea that sales, it's not magic, it's science. Love it. But most companies don't have playbooks, don't have methodology, don't measure all these metrics which you mentioned.
Most unorganized companies.
This is a problem, right?
Yeah, so for most companies, sales it's magic because they have zero control for like planning and rules and culture, everything for this. They just like hire someone, give them the motivation, so you can reach BMW. Let's sell and find your way to sell more and reach the quota. So,
well, again, you could get lucky once or twice, but listen, no NFL team has ever won a Super Bowl with magic. It's been with they've had a good training program, a good playbook, good players. They followed a process. They win a Super Bowl, or they don't.
If we step even backward, why most companies, most startups fail? If you're starting something just for the sake of making money, you're going to fail. It's pretty much guaranteed that you're going to fail. If you're starting something because you either have years of experience in that field and you've seen the things that didn't work in the other things that you were involved, and you're building a solution for your problems that you wish that it existed, very likely you're going to find a solution in there very fast, and people will want it because you had colleagues that were facing similar issues and so on. Or if it's a B2C something, it's something that it just hurts you. It just gives you so much pain, and you just wish that it existed. So you build it for yourself, and you start talking about it. You find people that's similar to you in a way. Like as as a founder, it all starts from you. Are you building it for the sake of features, or are you building it for the sake of really, truly fixing a problem? And I forgot the gentleman's name, the gentleman who is from Florida, moving here. Probably he left, or no, he's there right now. Yeah. He asked me a question. What are you building right now? I answered him, I'm not building, I'm actually unbuilding. I'm unbuilding, meaning that you built too many things, back to what Sam said. You're not eliminating the features, etc., that we built with a conviction that it is going to work, and we noticed that it doesn't run, it just crawls. And the time that salespeople, or myself even, spent trying to push that, boulder in there to move, I don't want to push a boulder to move, I want to roll it. Right? When you want to roll something, anything that is edgy, you cut it off. It's okay. You've spent, like in finance, my background is, as I mentioned at the beginning, trading. You cut your losses short. That's very important. You may have spent a year or two, didn't work, know how to cut it off. You don't need to spend another 5 years trying to push it on. Unless you have like $1 billion venture fund saying that, okay, this is going to come, like it's an energy infrastructure or chip or something like that. It's going to come and we're going to give you the money. Then, someone is giving you a ton of money, and I don't believe any of you are in that position right now. You make it to a matchstick that everyone needs to make a fire so that you can sell it to everyone.
Ooh, I like that analogy. I'm going to use it. Yeah, ruthless discipline around focus. All right, Val, do you want to open up for some questions from the audience? I'm helping you out here.
You just open right now.
There it is. Look at that.
So you said the founder should be, or co-founder should be, the first salespeople. What if they're not very good at that?
So that's a real problem. It's a real problem. I've met so many engineering-led startups that don't have that sales DNA in their founding team, and it's a huge challenge. So my best advice when I sit down with that founder is, you got to find somebody to bring onto your team right now that's going to believe in what you guys are doing, that has that in their DNA, that can go sell your solution. Or there's no way you're going to make it. I mean, the notion of you're going to build the best mousetrap ever and people will just flock to you, it has never happened in the history of startups. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm allergic to the word cool. Like, you're going to get like, this is cool, but cool doesn't sell. Don't start. Like, you're going to be wasting your time and resource and energy where you can go work Google and elsewhere and make money, whereas you're going to burn yourself. And understand it too late. So find yourself.
Find a co-founder who has sales in their DNA. Yes.
Ruthless discipline around focus. That is an interesting statement. What do you mean by that?
So it was what I was talking about earlier. The narrower your focus on who you're going after as your target client, not just the type of organization, but even the persona, the ideal client. The more you're focused, the faster you're going to grow. The wider your approach, you want to sell everything to everybody and be known for nothing, then that company is never going to take off. You're going to burn through your initial capital and then cease to exist. So your job as the founder of the company is, it's okay to have the shotgun approach. In fact, you have to have a shotgun approach initially, because you don't know who your ideal customer is, or what that ideal solution is, what that matchstick is that can ignite that fire for your clients. So you have to try a lot of things, but you don't have enough capital to try a lot of things forever. So you have to, make your best guess, make your best hypothesis, try a lot of things with a lot of different kind of clients, and pivot if you have to, try and find market fit. But your job is very quickly to zero in on who's my most profitable customer, who can buy my solution the fastest out of the box. And you focus in on that, and you're gonna just catch a gear and take off. That's what I mean by ruthless focus.
Another simple comment is that when you get in front of the mirror, Can you say that I'm the one?
I mean, how vain am I when I'm doing that? Because I mean,
Can you say
I'm
that
feeling
I am
pretty
the
good,
one?
but
I like you.
no,
But seriously, that's the thing, right? It's not. When we started, when Sam asked, like, let's do a thing, how many of you are founders? Almost all of you. I would ask another question. How many of you think that you are a sane person? If you are a founder, you are not a sane person. There is something wrong with you. Like, there is something catastrophically wrong about with you. And that catastrophe has a driver of some sort that has to make you ruthless. Like something that drives you. Why are you not going and working somewhere and making just that easy money without worrying about it? Why am I not even 40 and looking like 50? That drives me. Right? What is it that makes you wake up every day at 5 o'clock and feel like you are going to Disneyland, knowing that you're going to go jump through the fire? And how are you going to stay onto that discipline in there? And ruthless does not necessarily mean that go be evil in there.
I didn't say evil.
But people often mistake that. Ruthless does not mean be evil. We are not evil. In fact, actually, I see myself, I will push the hell out of my client to close a deal with me because I know that I am his savior. I know that the product we have is the messiah of their future. Without me, they're going to be screwed. And I will do everything possible to make them understand that. That's the ruthlessness in there.
So do either of you have experience with or opinions of the role of agents, AI agents, and human salespeople and the orchestration, facilitation of that?
Man, Arturo, such a great question. You get to go first, Yagub.
That's how you find.
So last week, we fired 6 people in our company. I said I don't like firing, but when I have to, I'll take it. It was majorly because of the activities that they were doing, we had automated, and the automated solution KPI wise, it was like 20 to 40% better than the human one. So we ended up making that decision.
So it's 6 people in sales, or it's like
I'm not going to disclose on what position it was, but we let go. We let go human beings. It's the same thing. If you look at my LinkedIn, most of my LinkedIn content is not written by me. I've written.
No way.
You can see like weird looking ones. That's me. The very nice professional looking ones are not me.
You got to teach your font.
Yeah. And ever since we started it, as an example, if you look at my LinkedIn itself, 6-7 months ago, I think I had like 11,000 followers on LinkedIn. And right now we have 20,000, almost 21,000 people as a follower. And 6 months ago, I was doing it myself, and I'm referring to myself. I'm not even referring to other guys. I would get maybe 1 or 2 leads per week based on that 11,000 people. Right now, in any given day, I'll get 4 to 8 leads coming to me organically on my own LinkedIn operation. So yes, agentic things work, but it's not a blind deployment that you go for. Inside it, though, one thing that I've also done my best in our agents is that there is no private data of any sort being transmitted to any AI. I mean, that's the value add that Polygraph really offers to enterprises. So we practice the heck out of it internally. If I don't use it myself, how am I supposed to sell that to someone else?
So, first of all, it's a whole new world. I'm sure all of you are actually more cutting edge in AI than I am. But it's impacting every part of every organization. As an example, I'm not going to give you their name, but a friend of mine runs a company. They have 8 employees. That's it. Eight full-time employees, 2,500 AI agents, and they'll do about 100 million in revenue. It's a good margin. And they sell essentially. You probably received an email from them, not knowing it was from them. They basically sell loans for financing for companies, for small companies, underserved market, and the entire lead generation process, email, questions, answers is completely driven by AI agents. And then all the way till at the very end, then I'll just flip that over to actually a company that originates a loan. So this is today, right? I think we read 2 weeks ago. If you read the New York Times, we had our first one-person billion-dollar company, first ever. It's a whole new world. So yeah.
First of all, thank you both for sharing your experience. And Yagub, you previously mentioned that you are a very contradictory person and you don't trust people. So my question is the following: how did you find your co-founders in this personality? And I'm asking that because I guess I'm very similar to this person as well. So and I see it as a problem, but how did you solve it? Thank you.
The very first co-founder I had in my first company, I met him in a boot camp, spent 10 days together, and we decided to actually work together right there. So it was like making into, and he convinced me, I convinced him that we need to do that.
Is this a technology boot camp, a military boot camp? What kind of boot camp are we talking about here?
It's kind of like a technology, you can call it. The second co-founder, we studied together in the business school, built a company, and when we were about to exit, I proposed her and we got married. So I said that I'm joking now that I didn't want to share half of my exit with her. Ended up giving all of it to her. But she, we did not even treat at the beginning at that time that we are doing a company. We treated it in a way that she hated certain things that in the media world, because we were media consulting, technology consulting. We were coming both sides. So she was the media mind, I was the technology mind. And we just somehow merged up together and working together.
I think we call that a marriage, Yagub. They think that's the term?
No, that's later on we did. At that time, there was no such thing.
They don't call it.
Now we kind of define ourselves that. But currently, my third co-founder in Polygraph, the only co-founder in Polygraph, third company co-founder. I actually went on literally asking my closest friends for a specific persona. And I didn't want to work with my friends personally because I have had historical things that I tried to work with a friend and it ruined friendship. So I decided not to work with a friend. It needs to be purely business only and conviction only environment. So got a recommendation from, and I'm a little bit like superstitious person overall. I like believing that universe sends signals at certain case. So I ended up meeting Vignesh in one event online. Like he was living in Chicago and I'm in Austin, and randomly met him there. And I'm on a founder chatbot. Like there is this GPT-2 kind of test bot environment that we are looking at, and I see this guy. He pops up in there, and then the third day, one of my best friends sends an introduction that this is the guy that I think it would fit yours. I'm like, okay, let's go on a date in a way. Like we start working together. 3 months, we interviewed a heck ton of people together, and he was the one who would follow up on the timelines. And mine, as I said at the beginning, my need was getting someone that was organized. We did try to attract a couple of other so-called co-founders in the middle. In fact, actually, my college classmate Anton, we tried to bring him as a marketing co-founder. We brought him, but then Ukraine war happened. The guy was drafted, etc. So unfortunately, we had to let him go. He ended up making very good money out of that. His shares were vested and so on. And we ended up he needed money. Last funding round, we created an exit situation for him. So we actually brought a co-founder and ended up letting him go because of the unforeseen circumstances, what the current world call it, force majeure clauses.
So first you need to have friends, and then you can handle the problem with co-founders.
Sam, correct me if you would agree or not. As a founder, when you start something, you are automatically selling. And your selling is to your first of all to your co-founder. Can I sell my idea to my co-founder?
Well, you're always selling. I mean, if you're selling to potential employees, clients, shareholders, investors, the market, you're always selling.
But the very first thing that you have to sell is to your co-founder. Can I sell myself to?
I guess it depends if you need it right now, because some start business like a solopreneur.
I don't believe that.
You don't believe in solopreneurs?
No. My wife is a solopreneur in a way. Her company is doing pretty awesome, but I don't think that 99% of the people would ever be able to succeed on it. She somehow got lucky.
But if you talk about entrepreneurs, I guess it's 1% in general, the world.
No, we are not talking about. We are talking about 1% of the 1%. It just is very that 1% person thing that we are talking about, a 1% thing. It's brothers working together.
Yeah. Again, I think it's still extremely rare. I just think that the fact that it's even possible today is remarkable. But I think it becomes a personal choice. I like working with other people. You probably do too. And some people prefer working alone. And you can start a company by yourself today that can accomplish things that were not possible 10 years ago.
100% on that. We can also, I think, agree with you and everyone else here is that what is your ambition? Is your goal to just make $1 million a year and live happily ever after? You can do it one person. That's not that difficult. Is your goal to build another $100 billion company? It's very unlikely that you will be able to do that. You have that journey itself. It has too much of dependencies. Fundraising, employees, infrastructure, in AI world, chips. I don't know how much the fines that you get. You have to also understand, I'm sure you've gotten there, the second you've passed certain milestone, people randomly start suing you in this country. And are you ready for it? Do you have the legal talent? Do you have legal experience? You cannot just go say, Yagub, if it wasn't my co-founder, our company would have been bankrupt long ago. Because I'm like, that's bullshit. And he goes going on and digging into it and coming and showing that it's organization in a way. So it's co-founder is something that complements what you do not have.
At the risk of sounding like a pessimist, when you say you fired 6 people and there are people who are being replaced by AI, are we not eliminating part of the market? As someone who is, I don't know, as business owners and founders, what worry do you have of what becomes of the market when the consumer is being removed from this capital gating process?
Yeah, you should kind of give that to me. So first of all, I actually don't know where this is going. I have both of my kids are in college. My son graduates next month. My daughter is a year after him. And they're entering a world that is changing faster than anything I've ever seen in my lifetime. And I do think we're going to be, I mean, not just in the context of startups, but just companies in general. We're seeing, I think, entire segments of, of our workforce that are being replaced and will continue to be replaced by AI. You guys are all at the forefront of this even more than I am. So the short answer is I don't know where this is going, and we think that it's only white collar jobs until you've seen some of the robots that are being built and what they're capable of, and now you're realizing no, actually, at some point plumbers and electricians and roof layers are going to be replaced by robots as well. So I don't know where this is going is the short answer, and we might be very well because. If I get philosophical here, in a world that is in a market that is almost entirely driven by AI and building data centers right at the moment, and energy to support it. If you have capital and you're invested, then chances are you're doing really well. And if you're one of my kids that's just now graduating and entering the workforce and you don't have any capital, and a lot of the jobs you were looking for, if you're an entry-level programmer today, it's hard to find a job as an entry-level programmer. And so where is it going? At some point, you're going to run out of consumers to buy the goods that the companies have can still produce in a much more efficient way. Are we headed towards a system of universal basic income? Are we headed towards? I have no idea. This is now the realm of science fiction, but it's probably around the corner faster than we realize it. I would love to hear some of your thoughts on this, of where you guys think this is going. But certainly it's a world where, so when I sit down with my kids and all of their friends, I have only one message to them. Whatever your degree is in, you better embrace AI. And you have a unique opportunity to come out of college as an AI native, kind of a decade ago or so, it could have been, you could have come out mobile native. When I graduated from high school, I was a PC native. So, you're right. I mean, I knew how to program on a PC, and that was a big advantage back in the day. And so whether you're a musician, an architect, a business major, whatever your major is, if you come out and you're an AI native, there's still a bunch of jobs for you right now. But 10 years from now, I don't know. We'll see. I'm welcome to thoughts over and when we hang out over here, I want to hear your thoughts on this. I want to hear your thoughts on it, Yagub. Any thoughts on where this is headed from a labor point of view?
The nature is made in such a way that everything is survival of the fittest. You have to adapt or be adapted. So some of those people we had to let go. It wasn't just saying that, oh, today you're going to be done. We had communicated with them, we were showing them how they should, look in themselves. Let's not focus on those, but let's give an example of what I'm seeing right now today. There are in the thousands of people being laid off. In fact, actually tens of thousands of people being laid off. But I see a big problem in there. We have a dozen of vacancies on our website. And these people are getting laid off. They were making, 300,000, 280,000, 400,000, etc. I'm using the word, it's a past tense. And they think that it's still that world. It's not that world. You have been made redundant, and that means that you were not actually the best. That's why you've been let go. And you're coming to me and expecting me to pay a premium on it instead of a discount? I'm not going to do that. So instead of it, you mentioned the 8 people to 2,500. Today I had an interview with a journalist. She asked, how many people you have in your team? I said 20. I said human or machine team members. That was my first question. And she goes like, I guess both. And like if you ask it that way, we probably have around like 5,000-ish people. And I'm intentionally like trying to create a curiosity. We have 21 people in the team, and almost 5,000 agents. Every single one of the team member will have like 20 or more agents for different tasks. We just launched Japan's most accurate privacy engine ever in history in 6 weeks with just one person. Like with just one person, that one person has 800 different agents working for him. Now, do I care? Care is a very tough word in here. I'm a startup, so I have an option to go burn crazy money and dilute myself, or control my expenses and scale fast. My conflict here is that I don't want to dilute myself or my stakeholders, which means those employees that I have in my team. So from that perspective, I'm only looking for people who are living in the future, who are going to be trying new things and failing it. Failing it is okay. We will never fire anyone who tried something new and tried to innovate and it didn't work. I will never fire them. But I will definitely fire someone who gets comfortable and doesn't want to change. And something new that we are bringing is outperforming it. I'm sorry, but I'm not looking for static. I'm looking for dynamic development. And for you also, you may have, there is this old saying, right? If you just grow 0.01% a day, every day, the compound element of it becomes the case, the change for you. The market is moving insanely right now. Like, forget the market, the software engineering thing, like, it's going crazy. How are you adding that 0.01% betterment to your own skill set so that you don't become redundant? Redundancy is no company wakes up today saying that let's just go ahead and fire 40% of our workforce. Why not 100% in that case if everyone could be redundant? Those people that are not becoming the 20% bottom line, like you were mentioning, do you think that someone will go ahead and fire their top 5%? Would you?
Nobody fires their top 5%.
There we go. So your goal is to get that as many of those top 5% in whatever it is and hire them. If it is someone that's working for someone, your goal is to be the top 5%. Don't be lazy is good, but lazy proactively is important. Like, find people who are lazy, who will find their ways around it, and one person will deliver 5 people a job. And you'll see that there are people like that. They are like divas in a way. They don't want to do many things, but they end up being the attraction point of everything.
All right, Lucy.
Okay, it was the last one question. Yeah, thank you so much.
I have the last question.
Okay, last one question from Val.
Oh, Val. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you so much. Just like in resume for this topic, for this conversation, because we just talked about AI, about like ICP, everything. So if I want to, let's use delegate sales for someone else, I can try to hire some first guy, just figure out what I need first to fix, and where I can build the playbook first and delegate with playbook with some ideas. I can have hired someone's like a human, but maybe some human plus AI. This like maybe last few minutes, this can be a good way. And can you in this maybe general resume just give the main rule which you recommend to do, and maybe to control this process, to delegation for sales, and build the engine and move this from founder led to sales led for the general team? So what's like main focus rule you recommend to all of us?
Again, to keep it short, until you understand who your target market is and how to go, and you've done it yourself, how to go penetrate that target audience, how to sell to them until you understand it and have codified it. You're not ready to go hire your first salesperson. By the way, and part of that process could be, AI as part of the lead generation process or some of the tools that you use to generate the proposal, all of that. But until you understand it yourself and can replicate it yourself and have codified it in a sales playbook, you're not ready to go hire the next salesperson. That's my main point today.
It's mean like you have these rules, you have playbook, and you can delegate it for humans, for AI, build the agents, build the person.
I think it usually is going to be a combination of both. For most B2B sales processes, again, I think for the most part, it can't be turned over completely to AI just yet. Maybe someday, but right now, it's a combination of human and AI automation somewhere along the way. So you figure it out how you can do it, write it down, codify it, then you get to go hire the next salesperson or sales team and train them on it.
Super. Thank you, guys. Thank you for this conversation. Try to fire yourself tomorrow and hope to see you soon next month. Thank you so much, Josephine.
Thank you, speakers.